After being held captive in war-torn Syria for 6 months, 2 Spanish journalists have finally returned home. Javier Espinosa, a Middle East correspondent for El Mundo, along with freelance photographer Richard Garcia of Villanova, were reunited with their friends and family in Madrid Sunday. CNN quotes Espinosa telling the crowd, "We want to thank everyone who is worried about us and who has made it possible for us to return home. I'm sorry for what we've made you go through." Espinosa and Villanova were abducted by ISIS, a rebel group with ties to al-Qaeda near the Turkish border, on September 16th. The 2 men were preparing to leave Syria after 2 weeks of reporting. The BBC notes ISIS assumes all foreign journalists and aid workers in Syria are spies and have issued orders to arrest them. The Spanish government and the victims' families originally kept the kidnappings quiet while negotiating for the journalists' safe release. News of the abductions finally went public in December after talks between the kidnappers and the government stalled. After 6 months of captivity, Espinosa and Villanova were released and handed over to the Turkish government. Espinosa phoned the El Mundo offices to let them know he was coming home.
It was Javier, as he always was, and absolutely calm, and at the same time we were all clapping and cheering and crying.
Syria has become an increasingly dangerous place for journalists since the civil war broke out in 2011. Reporters Without Borders, which has called Syria the world's most dangerous country for journalists, estimates 20 other journalists are currently missing or abducted. Spain welcomed home another journalist who had been held captive in Syria earlier in March. El periodical journalist Marc Marganeras was released by ISIS on March 2nd. For Newsy, I'm Alexis Rogers.